All right, Ed Carbajal here with Patrick Crumpton. Speaking with him before his next fight, March 3rd, Aries Fight Series 15 on Spectation Sports. Patrick, thanks for taking the time to talk. I know you're busy doing training camp. Um, how you doing since the last fight?
Man, been doing good. Kind of spent a little time away from the cage because I had a little injury last October. I was hoping to be in there a little sooner because it's been since June since I've been in the cage. But you know, things happen. Everything's going good now. Back in the gym, getting solid rounds in. So yeah, everything's good now.
Can you elaborate on the injury? What happened?
Tearing my adductor. Happened sparring. Just one of those things.
Yeah, that's a painful one. Anything that affects your core movement would definitely mess with your training.
Yeah, sucks because I was trying to get in there in October, and we didn't have an opponent yet, but I was still just going in the gym as is, and get the work in, and of course I get injured. But it happens to everybody. Nobody's immune to injuries.
So I mean, the before that, the last fight that you had, that was the last time I talked to you. We did the phone interview. You picked up the win against Logan Neal. Can you just talk about anything you took away from that fight, lessons learned from it, moving forward with your career?
Well, I was happy with my cardio going a full 25 minutes. Because that was one of those things. Until you actually do it, you're always going to wonder how am I going to feel in the fourth and fifth rounds. But yeah, I pushed through 25 minutes straight. I never really stopped. Everything felt good. Would have liked to finish, but doesn't always happen. But yeah, just you know, I learned what I'm made of. That I can keep going. So it was a good experience.
That was for a title, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. I'm the first ever Aries lightweight champion,
That's right.
professional.
So that was. I remember you said that to me. That's you're going to be your first pro MMA title. Now you have it. And you had talked
Yes,
about
sir.
being
Now I'm defending it.
that's right. And you talked about talked about how you felt like before this fight you felt like you were the underdog more times than you were the favorite. So now that you're the champion, moving forward, looking at the next event on March 3rd, are you the favorite, or do you no longer care about the odds because you're the champion?
Honestly, I've never really cared about the odds. I'm assuming I'm the favorite because I'm the champion. 6-1 compared to his 3-1. But he's a solid opponent. I don't really know what the betting odds are right now, but I feel like I'm the favorite. And if I'm
Hmm.
not, then it doesn't really affect me in any way. If they don't believe me, then I'm going to make them believe.
Yeah, I remember you said to me that you actually like being the underdog because it's nice to prove people wrong. So is that
Yes,
still the
sir.
feeling? This feeling for this one too?
Pretty much. Yeah. Again, I don't know what the betting lines are, and again,
Hmm.
it's kind of irrelevant. I just feel like most people have been counting me out most of the time. I've never been the guy who had a whole lot of hype around him. I
Hmm.
just keep doing my thing, keep grinding, keep winning, and results speak for themselves.
Yeah, for sure. As speaking of hype, your opponent, Jonathan Martin, he's coming out of the. I think he comes out of the highest on gym, which is like the Goker Chivichin, that whole grappling, Ronda Rousey, Goker Chivichin, Carl Parisian, those guys. I believe that's the same gym people train from there. Is there any vibe you get coming as we near the date because of who your opponent is or who he trains with? Like, do you feel like there's people kind of counting you out at all?
I mean, probably, but
Mm-hmm.
again, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, he's a solid opponent. He's got good jujitsu. He's got
Mm-hmm.
heavy hands. He's got knockout power. He's tall, athletic. He's a well-rounded fighter. I just feel it's nothing I haven't seen before. I had
Mm-hmm.
16 amateur fights, 7 pro fights so far. My brother used to fight, and he was 6'5". He's kind of put it behind him at this point, but I'm used to tall guys. So it's nothing. I haven't seen.
I mean, talking about the injury and going through just and talking to you, setting this up. I mean, how do you keep your focus and your energy to? I mean, especially does being champion help add to put fuel to the fire to move ahead with your career?
Man, I'm just I'm 33 now,
Hmm.
so I know fighting's only a temporary thing. By the time I'm 40, I'll probably have it, it'll probably be behind me. So I really just want to make the most of this while I can. Life is short. I've already been fighting for 10 plus years, and it feels like it just was yesterday when I had my first amateur fight, and here I am
Hmm.
7 pro fights in. So yeah, I just want to make it to a big stage, try to make a couple of big paydays. Am I going to be UFC champion? Probably not, but I want to get to the next level and test myself against some elite fighters just to see where I stand. And just I don't want to have any regrets when I get older. I don't want to be that guy who's like 40, 50 years old and it's like, oh, I wonder, I could have been this, I could have been that. That is pretty much it. Just it's all my own personal goals. Test myself.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like every part of the journey is testing yourself, including like upping your training. You're a champion now, so you probably feel like you have to do more than you were doing before to back that up. Um,
Mhm.
like how does it feel when you're nearing your first title defense? We're only like a week away, so you seem pretty focused and calm. Does any jitters or butterflies hit you like as we near the fight date?
A little bit. It's, a couple of weeks out, the realism starts
Mm.
to settle in. It's like your body is kind of like, all right, you're about to go to war. But it comes and it goes,
Mhm.
I'll feel the butterflies, but usually by the time fight night comes in, the weigh-ins of the fight, they're all gone. So that's kind of how I feel. Better to go ahead and get those feelings out a week from the fight than, show up to, day of the fight and you're like, oh man, now I'm nervous and stuff. So just
Yeah. Um, with the opponent and what you know about him, does that help you? Does that do you plan for when you hear stuff like he's coming out of the gym and good jujitsu and stuff like that? Do you and your team plan for that, or are you kind of just train the same for everybody? Because I know there's different guys that have different takes on fight preparation. And again, of course, I don't want you to give anything away talking to me, but I'm just your general approach when especially when you hear somebody coming from like a notable gym.
yeah, I mean, we are, doing things, a little more specific for, this guy because he's tall,
Mm.
but, not really, it's kinda just business as usual. It's also been a bit weird, our head coach recently left the gym,
Mm.
and, right now we got Dustin Ortiz helping us out. So I'll say it's, things haven't been just all smooth sailing at the
Mm.
gym. So I've just been, putting in the work. I just kinda do my thing regardless. Luckily, my jujitsu coach, BT, he gets extra work with me. Our, strength and conditioning coach, Tim, he's been, getting working with me, and, like I said, we got Dustin Ortiz now, a UFC veteran who's been, getting work with us, and, so, we're making the best of it. But yeah, we, kind of looked at, some footage of him. There's some things we're thinking of, but
Mhm.
I'm also kinda just, doing the same things I usually do to get ready for a fight.
Mm. I'm sorry to hear about the gym drama. I know that can be somewhat distracting, but I mean, obviously, your own goals. You can't let that distract you from what you have in front of you. But I know that can be tough to train through. It sounds like you have a tight team, though. Has it been tough at all, or you just is the eye on the price more important than what's happening around you?
Say eye on the prize is more important.
Hmm.
My training partner Zach, he's also got to fight the same night as me. He's fighting for PFL. Zach Hicks, who's
Oh
fighting
yeah.
for Aries too. Yeah, so we're fighting on the same night. Unfortunately, we're gonna have different people cornering him, me, because can't be two places at once. But and then the week after, Chris Ocon, he's fighting I think for a Combate Global or
Hmm.
something like that. So and then I believe at the end of March or the beginning of April, we have some other fighters, with fights coming up. So we've all kind of just, we have fights coming up. We don't got time to worry about any gym drama. You
No.
kind of learn that not everybody can get along. Just agree to disagree. I have no issues with anybody.
Mm.
and I wish everybody could get along, but that's just not the world we live in. But yeah, just don't let it affect me. I'm just worried about me.
Yeah, you just hit me with a little bit of a dilemma for your fight night because I talked to Zach and now I'm talking to you, and I always try to watch your guy when I interview somebody. I always try to watch the fights as they happen, so that's going to be a rough night for me too because I got to try to watch both you guys. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's a perfect example. I mean, you said you want to get the call. A lot of folks fighting on our platform. coming from your area are getting the call. Like Zach, you said just got the call for PFL. Do you think this next having the title already and then defending it? Do you think this next one might put you on some folks' radar?
I'm hoping so. Unfortunately, I did get a couple of offers from a few different promotions, but it happened when I got injured. So of course
Mm,
I'm like, oh yeah, now I got like offers, and it wasn't anything like PFL. It was like Shamrock FC, FAC, stuff that'd be like on UFC Fight Pass. Better opportunities, just to get out there.
hmm.
Unfortunately, of course, it comes at like the worst time, like literally like the week after I get injured, I start getting messages. I'm like, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go ahead and get this try to get this win, get back on track, defend that title, and then hopefully something bigger pops up.
I hope so for you too. Last one for me. I mean, just general question. I know it's a redundant and kind of stupid to ask fighters before their fight, but I have to ask it anyway. How do you see the fight going against you and Mr. Martin?
He's a tough guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes all 5 rounds. I'd like to, end the fight with a submission or even a TKO. But honestly, I'll take the win either way it comes. If I have to grind him out for rounds, then so be it. If I can get a choke on him or, finish him with some strikes, that'd be cool too. But it really kind of doesn't matter as long as I get the win. It's cool with me.
All right, cool. Well, listen, Pat, thank you so much for taking the time to talk. I know it was we were playing message tag for a while there, but I try to respect your time and stuff as much as you're giving it to me. So I do appreciate it. I wish you luck. Aries Fight Series 15. It's March 3rd. Folks can watch it here on Spectation Sports. And again, thank you so much. Good luck to you, sir. If you, by the way, if you want to plug
Yes, sir.
anything, sponsors or anything, if you feel like you want to, if you have tell people where to follow you and stuff like that, go ahead.
Yeah, real quick, gonna thank my sponsors, the Work Massage, my boy John, he does great work. Next Generation Motors, my boy Jacob, he's a car salesman. So if y'all anybody in the Tennessee Mount Juliet area needs a vehicle, hit him up. And yeah, thank all my training partners, Zach Hicks, Charlie Alexander, Chris Ocon, coaches, Brian Tidwell, Dustin Ortiz, Tim Demish. Yeah, just thank you.
Sorry, sorry about that. You cut off a bit at the end there, but I'm sure it'll catch up. But anyway, so good luck to you, Pat. Thanks again, and get your rest. And good luck
Yeah.
next week.
All right, man.
Take
Thank
care.
you.